Hashtag AI agents reality check. Everyone's wrong about AI agents. I've been in enterprise tech long enough to know when something genuinely new is happening. This isn't that. Not yet. Every week, another breathless announcement. Agentic AI will run your business hands-free. Full automation, zero human oversight. It's all PowerPoint and prayer. I've sat through enough transformation programs to know how this ends. The gap isn't the technology. It's not even the infrastructure. The gap is that everyone's building agents on top of processes that barely worked with humans. Here's what the data actually shows about getting real returns from AI agents right now. Here's what's actually happening. Every vendor promises level 5 autonomy, hands off the wheel, full self-driving for your business. Meanwhile, that GenAI pilot you launched 6 months ago is burning cloud credits and returning nothing. I've watched this pattern before. The disconnect isn't the technology. It's that enterprises are deploying agents on top of processes that barely worked with humans. You can't automate dysfunction, you just make it faster and more expensive. The plumbing problem. Nobody mentions. Here's the part nobody's telling you. The model context protocol, the actual infrastructure that lets agents talk to your enterprise systems, launched 10 months ago, November 2024. Major platforms are still wiring it in. I've negotiated $100 million technology decisions. When a vendor shows up acting like this is mature, solve science, I keep that number in my head. 10 months. We're not in the late stage of agentic AI, we're in the opening act. The plumbing is still being installed, which means the gap between the demo and what actually runs in production isn't closing. It's widening. Look at the gap. One side, vendor promises screaming about level 5 autonomy. Agents running entire departments while you sleep. Other side, the data. Amazon Web Services shows most enterprise agents deployed right now are level 1 or 2. Basic task execution. A few narrow level 3 pilots. Level 4, practically non-existent. I've been on both sides of $100 million technology decisions. When the pitch is full autonomy and the deployment is glorified scripting, that's not a maturity curve. That's a chasm. The demo runs the business. Production runs a single workflow badly. So why does every software vendor suddenly claim they're selling autonomous agents? Because agent washing is the new AI washing. I've seen this playbook before. Rename the product, rewrite the deck, keep selling the same middleware you had last quarter, now with agentic in the title. The noise is expensive, the signal is rare, and most buyers can't tell the difference yet. You need to learn this term, agent washing. It's the practice where vendors take conventional software, automation scripts they wrote 5 years ago, and slap an agentic AI label on them to ride the hype. That bash script from 2018, now it's an autonomous agent. I've worked in nuclear and aviation, industries where getting it wrong isn't an option. So when a vendor shows up calling their scheduler agentic, I ask one question. What can it plan that it couldn't before? Usually, silence. Gartner predicts 40% of AI agent projects will fail. Here's the cost of all that agent washing. Gartner predicts that by 2027, 40% of agentic AI projects will be completely scrapped. Gone. Why? Unclear value and exorbitant costs driven by relabeled tools that never solved a real problem. The hype is literally tricking organizations into buying things that don't work. They're investing in autonomy and getting expensive scripting. I've watched 3 technology waves hit the enterprise. This one wastes money faster. I want to clear up some confusing data you're seeing everywhere. You've probably seen that viral stat. 95% of AI pilots are failing. It's being used as proof that agents don't work. That's not what the number says. The 95% refers to all generative AI pilots, chatbots, summarizers, every half-baked experiment IT launched last quarter. It's a warning about poor execution, not proof that agents are broken. Here's the real number. Out of thousands of companies claiming to sell AI agents, Gartner found only about 130 vendors globally actually offer true agentic AI. True agents aren't failing everywhere. They're just extremely scarce right now. So the real technology is scarce, and the pilots are risky, which brings us to the minefield. Because here's what everyone forgets. Autonomy does not erase accountability. It just moves it somewhere uncomfortable. Hashtag AI agents and legal accountability. Here's the brutal truth, backed by actual legal precedent. The enterprise owns the outcomes. Air Canada's customer service chatbot hallucinated a fake refund policy. A customer sued. The courts ruled Air Canada had to honor exactly what their AI promised. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission issued an advisory explicitly stating that entities must treat AI under their existing risk and control obligations. If your autonomous agent makes a mistake, the regulator isn't going to fine the AI. They're going to fine you. Why AI agent pilots keep failing? So why do these pilots keep failing and triggering lawsuits? The pattern is clear. Teams are overpromising level 4 readiness when their internal data supports level 2 at best. They're shipping agents to production without boundaries. The AI literally doesn't know what it's not allowed to do. No escalation protocols, no rollback plans when things break, and they completely ignore user experience maturity. That McDonald's drive-thru pilot that got shut down after years of testing, that wasn't a failure of AI logic. It was a failure to account for noise, chaos, and the real world. You can't automate your way past basic operational discipline. I know that sounds grim, but some organizations are getting real returns right now. Not PowerPoint, not promises, actual value. So let's look at the companies who crack the code. According to Boston Consulting Group, only 26% of companies can actually turn AI pilots into measurable business value. Think about that. 3/4 of the market is burning budget on agents that return nothing. The capability gap isn't closing, it's sorting. The boring truth about AI success. Now here's what BCG calls the boring truth behind that 26%. 70% of successful AI effort goes into people and process, 20% into data and infrastructure, and a tiny, almost negligible 10% into the algorithm itself. The winners aren't winning because they have a better model than you do. They're winning because they're rewiring workflows, retraining people, and fundamentally changing how work happens. The algorithm is the easy part. The humans are the hard part. Google and Waymo prove the pattern. Let me show you what actually works. Google's DeepMind deployed agents in their data centers. The lever the AI could pull, cooling control, tightly supervised. The result? Up to 40% reduction in energy costs. Then look at Waymo. Their self-driving cars don't operate everywhere. They operate in very specific mapped areas under very specific conditions. The outcome? Statistically fewer crashes than human drivers. Both of these successes share the exact same DNA. A clear actuator, a really tight scope, and massive measurable impact. Notice what's missing? Nobody handed the AI the entire operation and walked away. They gave it one thing to optimize, watched it closely, and measured ruthlessly. That's not a limitation, that's the formula. So how do you replicate that formula in your own business? That brings us to your 2025 playbook, how to build shapes, not slogans. How to actually deploy AI agents. That work. If you take one thing from this, make it this. Start with bounded autonomy. Stop chasing full hands-off autonomy. Pick one actuator you actually control, a routing policy, a scheduling queue, maybe a thermostat set point. Make it a closed loop so the agent can sense the outcome and learn from it. Then commit to one KPI, cycle time, referral accuracy, energy saved. Get a baseline, prove that it works. The companies winning right now aren't the ones with the biggest vision. They're the ones with the tightest scope. How to deploy AI agents safely now. Let's climb the autonomy ladder, the actual safe deployment strategy. Step 1, shadow mode. The AI watches the human work and makes silent predictions so you can check its accuracy offline. Step 2, recommend. The AI suggests the action. The human clicks approve. Step 3, bounded control. The AI can act on its own, but only within strict guardrails. Refund a ticket up to $50, not a penny more. Step 4, once you've actually proven the value, you cautiously expand the envelope. Notice what's missing, the part where you flip a switch and walk away. Before you ship anything, there are 4 absolute non-negotiables. A big red override button, tamper-evident logs so you can prove exactly why the agent made a decision when a regulator or an angry customer comes knocking. Baseline metrics so you know if you're improving things or just accelerating the mess. And ruthless telemetry to monitor system health in real time. I've built systems for environments under constant attack. That changes how you see risk. This is how you navigate the messy middle without inviting a legal disaster. Hashtag AI agents reality check. The final word. One last thought. The minefields are real. but the opportunities for tangible ROI are equally real. You just have to know the difference. Stop chasing vendor frameworks and overblown promises. Look at your current roadmap and ask yourself honestly, are you buying hype and building slogans, or are you embracing bounded autonomy, measuring real KPIs, and building shapes that actually impact your bottom line? The people who understand this early will have an unfair advantage. Follow for more.